You know that Dalston is one of the most aggressive dog breeds. Yeah, no, I've been, James, like, no bullshit. My friend Trevor, I've talked about Trevor in here before. My friend Trevor and I used to draw a comic strip series that we called Weinerdog Vengeance. And the oh my god, I fucking hate this story. Why am I telling this story? Alright, chat. I'm about to get real with you about one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened with you. Bar none, maybe one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to me, and I hate telling this story. I don't know if I ever told it in story time. I might have, when the well ran a little dry. Trevor's cousin was married to the reigning Miss Idaho. And even though they were, like, married, I was, like, 17. I was a starting offensive tackle for the football team. I weight trained. My hormones were going through an insane series and swing of events. I just need to be able to hit this guy. My hormones are crazy and out of balance, so I just hear, hey, let's go to Trevor's house. The reigning Miss Idaho is there. Not that she's married to his cousin. Not that she's, like, in her 20s and I'm 17 and that it's not only technically illegal, but that she would never want anything to do with me anyway. All I heard was Miss Idaho is at Trevor's house. So I go over there, 6 foot tall, 195 pounds, 8-pack, big fucking muscles, full head of hair. I go there, and Trevor's grandparents have a wiener dog named Gidget. Gidget is a total pussy. Trevor occasionally would make his grandparents so mad because Gidget, for whatever reason, looked scared and, like, shook all the time for most people. But whenever I touched her, that dog pissed. That dog pissed everywhere. Stockpile health, and I'll use it as an offensive weapon. So that part doesn't matter. But the point being is that they had a pussy wiener dog named Gidget that I didn't pick on, but I wasn't scared of. So I go over there and I'm like, oh yeah, Miss Idaho, I can't wait, Miss Idaho. So as I'm getting to the door, Trevor says, hey man, just fair warning. My cousin and his wife brought their wiener dog, and their wiener dog's a real asshole. And I was like, oh, okay, well. And in my head, I'm picturing Gidget 2.0. I was like, I'll try not to make it shit on the bed. I'll try to make it not piss all over the walls when it comes in to, like, bark at me and I look at it funny. And so I was like, okay, you know, thanks for letting me know, man. I appreciate it. You know, whatever. It's a wiener dog that I'm sure is more scared of me than I am of it. So I go into the house, man. I can't remember this stupid dog's name. But this thing sees me, and I had a pretty bad fear of dogs when I was a kid. I had a dog bite me when I was little, and it took me a real long time. I'm at a good place now with dogs. I can go up to somebody else's dog, and if they're like, hey, my dog's cool, then I'll run and dive tackle your dog. And so I go in, and I'm like, oh man, where's Miss Idaho? Where's Miss Idaho? I've got my tight shirt on, and, you know, I've got my hair product in my hair and shit like that. And I walk in, and I see this tiny little ass wiener dog. And I was like, oh, hey, fuck you, my name's Ryan. And it looks at me and gives zero shits and charges me. Charges me angry, snarling. For whatever reason, the beta cuck in me triggered so hard because this dog was so authoritative. I was, like I said, like 195 pounds, 6 feet tall, nothing but gym muscle. I could have kicked this thing to the sun. I could have kicked this thing so hard it would travel through time. My instinct was to run from it. So I ran from this fucking wiener dog. And it chases me into the room where Miss Idaho is sitting. And in my old ass, the only thing I've got on that's like old is these old ass sneakers. I got these old ass sneakers on, and I jump up onto Trevor's grandparents' brand new $5,000 white couch. And I'm standing on top of this white couch, Miss Idaho right here, and this angry wiener dog the size of one of my dirty shoes has now treed me like prey. And this is how, if I mean, you know, God willing, she's still alive, but she's pretty young. But God willing, if she's out there, this is how Miss Idaho, 1994, remembers me, if she remembers me at all, is as the gigantic yawning vagina who got treed by a Weinerdog, despite outweighing it by like 6,000%. I could have kicked that thing through the fabric of time. And so, it lived in infamy after that. It lived in infamy after that because Trevor and I, like okay, so Trevor was my Twitch chat of my youth. So, needless to say, he didn't let me live that down, and he reminded me of it all the time. Whatever. If you hit me, I'll just become stronger. He reminded me of that all the time, and so we ended up starting a comic book series called Weinerdog Justice that was basically like if this Weinerdog had become Danny Trejo. If this Weinerdog was Danny Trejo, then we created the proper homage. It was all this, like, just Weinerdog and all these fucking crazy-ass scenarios where it was, like, basically a small master of the universe. So yeah, we drew probably what, I mean, we called, whoops, I forgot that I didn't have, the Emperor's card on me, or the Book of Belial. We called them episodes. Basically, it was just like, you know, this Weinerdog that was in all these Mission Impossible situations. We called it Weinerdog Vengeance. Okay. Whatever. You know what? At this rate. But yeah. So yeah, when the fact that James is talking about, oh yeah, Wienerdogs are badass, and all of a sudden I'm like flashback, PTSD triggered. All I can think about is how this dog single-handedly ruined my life for like 2 years. A dog that the shit that I took that made me late for my stream was bigger than this dog. But that dog ruined like my 16th and 17th year of existence. I hated that fucking dog. I still hate that dog. I'm 37 years old. I hate that fucking dog. What an asshole. Oh, I hated that dog. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you guys. That's a story I'm pretty sure I've never told here before, because I frankly, I didn't want you guys to know it. I didn't want anyone to know it. I don't want anyone to know that story.